Hey everyone, welcome to my new review, and today we're going to be checking out the DC Multiverse McFarlane Collector's Edition, Wonder Woman. Now this is going to be the first Collector's Edition that I will be reviewing on this channel, just mainly because I don't think a lot of them are worth the price point, which I think is roughly like $30, $32 with like tax and stuff. But this Wonder Woman is a figure that many people have wanted in their collection, so it's kind of, I don't know, a little scummy that Todd wanted to add this figure to the collector's edition, a character that everyone has wanted for a while, but I think this is the only one that really justifies that collector's edition price, and today we're gonna check that out. So without further ado, let's take a look at the packaging. So this is like your slightly upscaled McFarlane packaging, where we see like in silver painting right, or silver text right here that says McFarlane Collector's Edition. Obviously it has Wonder Woman. Great window that shows all the accessories, even this, that's the collector's price point, which is a display stand for a card, which I don't really like. This is Wonder Woman from specifically the Who is Wonder Woman comic. We have a great image of her in the back, and I think this looks really cool. Again, we have the text right here. On this side, just Wonder Woman, bottom Wonder Woman. So let's check this figure out. Alright, so here we have Wonder Woman out of the packaging, but for the most part I do think this is a really good looking figure. It does have reuse from a previous figure, especially the legs, and I think the arms, except for like her bracelets, and of course the torso is different, her waist is different, and the headpiece is different, but the body I think is pretty much reuse, and the boots are different as well. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the figure, and I do think for starters we should talk about this head sculpt, and I do think it's a pretty nice one. It's one that captures Wonder Woman's character nicely. The tiara is done in a great gold with like the red painted star, and there's no real smudging or anything like that at all. The eyes look great. The expression could be a little bit more different, but I do think that this is a great head sculpt for what we get. The hair is done in black with like a little blue wash to get out some detail, and I think that looks really nice as well. Going down to the torso, again, this is going to be one piece. So we'll talk about that in articulation, how it affects it, but I do think this looks way better than if they were to have a joint right here and like a cut that breaks up the silhouette. But on her torso, looks great. The gold is done great. There's no real smudging at all on my figure. Again, the belt looks nice. The stars are painted nicely or printed on nicely. The gauntlets are done in like a silver paint, which looks nice. And then down to the boots, these have some interesting texture on it, which I don't know how I feel about that. The white goes around the entire boot. Again, there's no real smudging at all, which I think is good, at least for my figures, because I always have figures that have like some pretty bad quality control, but this one looks pretty nice. The white doesn't continue on here, which kind of sucks, but we can get past that. I mean, overall, this figure looks great, and it's going to look so good with a classic DC Multiverse display. So now let's get into the articulation. And for the first point of articulation, obviously is going to be the head. She can rotate with ease. This hair does get in the way, so she can't really look up at all, but Wonder Woman can get, I don't know actually. She can look down a little bit. The hair is obviously going to get away, so she can't really tilt her head side to side. But I mean, what can you really do with molded hair pieces? But she does have some decent articulation. Arms can go up about this much, which is great. Again, there is a rotator cuff, but be careful because when you bend this back or when you try to get this posed, there is some serious gappage right here on like the rotator piece, which I don't know how could have done it better, but I feel like they could have. But I mean, for the most part, you can just put it right back. So for me, it's not a big deal. She does have a bicep rotation here, but it does fight you every turn of the way. You can see right here, just it's cut very, very weirdly, which I don't know why they decided to use this arm. As you can see, again, the rotator cuff goes right here, double bend at the elbow, And then McFarlane fist that can hinge side to side or vertically. And then they can swivel as well. Going into the torso, she can rotate at the waist. She can pivot at the waist as well. She can go back about this much, which is a lot, but then it does break up right here, so it does look a little weird. She can crunch forward a little bit, but that's pretty much what you get for a McFarlane figure. So again, this at least not adding a cut right here for more articulation, I think was a good idea, because again, at least for McFarlane figures, it doesn't really do much. And I do think this just makes the figure look so much more better, in my opinion, that it didn't have like this awkward cut right here on the torso, the top half. Her legs can go out but this much, so you can do the perfect splits. You can go back this much, which is really good on the legs, and then come up that much. Double bend at the knee, and it does look a little awkward right here, just having like the kneecap kind of just there, but she has great articulation. No boot cut, but again, you can rotate at the ankle, hinge up and down at the ankle with the articulation, and then there is also some pivot, if I can show that. Now, in my opinion, this figure has great articulation. This Wonder Woman is probably the best that we're going to get for a long time, and I think this is probably as perfect as we can get for a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. And now let's check out the accessories. Now keep this in mind that, like I said, this body is reuse, and for the most part, these accessories are also reuse. But for starters, we can check out Wonder Woman's shield, and I do think this is really cool. The gold painting is nice. The silverish, grayish plastic is also pretty good. It has some gray molded in detail on it. I wish it could have done a little bit more paint. As you can see here, like the straps are kind of just there in gray plastic, and the back there's like no detail at all. But for the most part, this does look good, and Wonder Woman can, I guess, hold the shield, and it does look pretty cool. Now next up, Wonder Woman does come with two weapons. She does come with her sword, which when I think of Wonder Woman, I do think of the sword and shield as like her go-to weapons, and it does look nice. Again, it's just done in like this grayish plastic. Nothing too special. I wish it would have been painted, but the hilt looks nice. Again, this is done in gold, I think gold paint. It looks nice. There's some great detail. Weirdly enough, this handle is too big for her to hold. You have to really stretch out her, I guess, weapon holding hand. So that's something you better keep in mind. But it does look nice, nonetheless. Now the next weapon Wonder Woman comes with is her axe, and I think this looks pretty cool as well. It has some great detail on the top of the axe, which looks nice, and then again, it's great detail on the gold with like the hilt. I think this looks really cool. I won't really be using this for Wonder Woman. I don't see her as using an axe as much as the sword, but it does look really nice, and it's good, and it's great that they added at least another weapon for a collector's edition figure. Wonder Woman's last, I guess, weapon accessory is that she does come with the lasso of truth, and this is just pretty much just a gold string. Once you like unravel it, becomes a real hassle to try to wrap it again, but you can store it right here on her side. Again, probably isn't the best looking lasso. I kind of would have preferred the plastic one, but at least like a wired one, but it does look nice once you have her like displayed with it. Out of the box, she does come with one weapon holding hand, which is the trigger finger, which I guess they want to include that, and then also a fist. But she also comes with a pair of opened palmed hands, which I think looks pretty cool. Just like some casual like hands or whatever. Those look nice. And then she does come with an alternate weapon holding hand, so she can hold both of them, if the sword and axe, if you want. And then she does come with the other part, or the other half of the fist, which I think is really cool. So at least she does come with a selection of alternate hands. So I wish she would have come with more, but for what she does come with, I think it's pretty good. All right, now let's get into some comparisons. And for starters, for some comparisons, we can check out this Superman I have from the collector's edition, which is like from Superman and Crypto. Here we have like the super buff Superman Returns Superman, and they don't really look good together. His Superman is like way too buff. I'm still trying to find my perfect Superman, but I think they look decent. Next up, however, we do have the Batman Nightfall figure, and these, in my opinion, look great. I know Wonder Woman is a little taller, but in my headcanon, she's an Amazon, so she should be a little bit more taller than Batman, but this isn't really too out of scale, at least for me, in my preference. So I do think these two are going to look great. For some more Justice League members, here she is next to the Flashpoint Flash. And I do think that maybe for this, she's a little too tall, but again, I don't really mind, because since she's supposed to be an Amazon, she's supposed to be obviously a little bit taller, and I do think these two are going to look good next to your other Justice League members. For some more female figures that McFarlane has come out with, here she is next to the Nightfall Catwoman. There's Wonder Woman next to the Target exclusive Supergirl. And last but not least, here she is next to another Amazonian, Donna Troy. So for my final thoughts on this figure, I do think this is one that I highly recommend you pick up. It's probably the best Wonder Woman figure we're going to get from Todd McFarlane and from McFarlane Toys. She looks great. She's going to pose very well. You could probably get some better accessories like off like a third party company. But I mean, for the most part, she just looks great. Like, it's a pretty decent figure. I still don't like that it's a collector's edition. He put it behind like a price increase for a figure that everyone's been wanting for a long time now. But I do think it's probably the only one that's worth it for you to pick up. I do know that she's still sold out in so many places, which is pretty crazy. I was lucky enough to get mine off Amazon, even though my pre-order did get pushed back because, Amazon. But let's say not talking about the price, I do think this figure in itself is worth it. You're going to get the value out of it. You're going to get some great poses. She's going to look great next to your other DC shells, even if you want to do a classic or like a new 52 type of thing. I mean, probably not that, but a more modern superhero roster, she's going to fit in just well. But let me know what you guys think. Are you going to pick her up? Have you already picked her up? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.